Right. Hi, guys, and welcome to the AirAbility Podcast. We're up to number 10 now, and as you can see, we've been a little jovial off camera before we started. Now, our special guest is James Head, and he works at Crackshot, the premier, airgun shop and ranges in the Southwest.
That's it.
That's it.
Crackshot, the Southwest's premier airgun shop and ranges. Proud sponsor of the AirAbility Podcast.
So, and obviously, I've got Tom with me as usual. What have you been doing, Tom?
For me, breaking stuff, a lot of stuff. I broke my main action I used last year, which Phil, who was on the last podcast, is going to repair for me, thankfully. Thanks, Matt, for that. And I've been redoing my Pantera, just doing a few updates to it, ready for next season. Nothing too bad on that, but yeah, mainly just carrying on, plodding along. A lot of rest projects, built myself a new set of flags. Yeah, just carrying on. And what have you been up to?
Well, I got notification that Falcon is sending me the big boy, this new X40i Ultra with a 40mm tube to have a look at. You know what I mean? It's built for a 50 cal, but I think my stabilised Anschutz 9015 can handle it. You know what I mean? But it should be a good laugh. It's not bench scope. So that's on the way. I've been talking to a few other companies about getting some more reviews over the winter. Now I've got time and there's some cool stuff coming for the channel. I think Tom and I are both booked up for the British Shooting Show, aren't we?
Yeah, we'll be on the stand for, I think it's the Friday and Saturday of the show. We're going to be there for a few hours each day. There you go, with Bench Rest UK. But yeah, we'll be walking around the show. We'll be probably on the Crackshot stand for a bit as well, with H&N as well on the Pelpack stand, just saying hello to a few people, and then, yeah, we'll just come up and say hello.
But you can do something to help Crackshot, can't we?
Yes. Crackshot are trying to go for Retailer of the Year again. Won it in 2023. Go on to the British Shooting Show website and cast your vote for it.
Yeah. So I'll put the link in the description to this video. So, they support us and they support the industry. So let's support them.
Falcon Optical Systems. They are built to compete. Proud sponsors of the AirAbility Podcast.
Right. James, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Not bad, you all right? Yeah, good.
Yeah, can you tell us a bit about who you are and where you work?
So I'm James, and I work at Crackshot.
Okay, this
podcast done. That's as interesting as I am.
You're way more interesting than that, Jim.
Well, I try to be.
He made me laugh. I popped into Crackshot early this year, and he already had a rifle for me to try and sell me. He's like a crack dealer. You know what I mean? He's like, come into my shop. You know what I mean? And when you go in that place, there's about 10 grand worth of stuff that you want. So
we'll try and lighten people's pockets from,
Well, it's business, isn't it? Tom's good at that.
That's it. Don't know what you're on about.
Yeah. What are you on about? So, James, you've been there a while now, haven't you? How long have you been there?
I've been here 7 years. Like furniture.
So, it's furniture. So was that after it was, what do you call it? Was that other lot, wasn't it? And it changed. Ronnie Sunshines or something?
Yeah, it's not, I came here as it was Crackshot. So there's always been Crackshot for me.
Cool.
So,
cool.
Yeah.
I only found that out the other week, because I was telling somebody that you were older than the Stonehenge. You know what I mean? I was insistent.
I've got a hard paper around this all.
It is. So you must sell a lot of guns and things. What would you say is the most popular gun that you sell, air rifle that you sell, or popular ones?
Most popular brands have definitely been, and there's four that have sold the most, I would say, over the last few years, which is Viroc, Daystate, Brocock, and Air Arms.
definitely the four big hitters. That we've sold a
Do you
lot of.
find do you find people know what they want before they come, or are they a
A
bit more?
lot of people have a good idea. They'll come in, they'll have it in their head, and I can talk to them about different ideas. And if I'm a bit iffy, but they've already got an idea in their head, you'll end up talking to them about three other different guns, and 9 times out of 10 they'll go back to the one they already had when they first came in the door. They just need that little bit of reassurance. Some people walk in, go, yeah, I want that, walk out the door again. It's a very, very quick transaction. Some people come in here and have no idea, and it's trying to then dwindle it down from
So you've
10
sold
different
something to
options to
Tom
one.
before then?
Well, I knew you were going to bloody say that. Thanks, Matt.
But what amazed me when I went is your second hand, like your used collection. You've got some gems in there, haven't you?
We did get a few beauties. The best ones is to put in when you get someone's or if someone's thinning out a collection that they've made over a few years, and they go, "Oh, I'm going to get rid of a few of these now." Yeah, when people start releasing a few from collections, that's when you start to get some nice pieces on the wall. But then we get some nice pieces anyway. There's some really nice second-hand stuff that comes in, and you think, oh, I think I'll probably buy some of this over the new stuff. I mean, our second-hand sales, we do rather well on. We turn over second-hand quite quickly.
Like just in the last few months, you've had a Ripley in, haven't you? You have a
Well,
lot of
we've
Theobins
had,
in.
we've had two Ripleys. One was a 2-2. I've never seen a 2-2 AR5S before. That was a
Right.
really cool piece. And then a AR5, just awesome.
It must be really dangerous working in the shop, because I know if I was working there, I'd be wanting to take stuff home all the time.
I mean, that's the only good thing, is at least I get to play with it, and then I've scratched the itch, and I haven't got to buy it to. I can go, I want a little use of that now. That's fine. I can go back.
So do you go upstairs to the range quite regularly then and give it a go?
And as a fact, the novelty of that wore off quite quickly.
Yeah.
And I think, just going over there and then just appreciate. I can just go over and appreciate the guns. Not very often do I get wowed by a gun to the point where I'll buy one, but I did recently.
Go on then, tell us what you got.
I bought an X200.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know. I just felt I've done a little video for our Facebook of just unboxing it and telling everyone that the Allen keys were shite.
Like, that's my first instruction for anybody with any gun or anything. Get 3 Allen keys and throw them away. That's my first instruction.
We got rid of them. But yeah, I'd done the video and I thought, I'll have a little play with this. I quite like it. Adjusted the trigger, which was a bit tricky.
Yes. Yeah.
That was painful. That took me a while, but then I went up on the range. And I did have a play with that, and yeah, I did a trade in and ended up with that one. It's his first HFT comp on Sunday.
Wow. So this gun isn't as evil as some of the online comments, is it?
No. It's not. It's not a dark horse. It's not a horrible, nasty thing. It's quite pleasant and quite welcome in my house.
Yeah, exactly. And I must admit, when I got mine through to review, I thought, this is a surprise. It isn't a thoroughbred bench rest gun, but as you saw by the video, I could hit the equivalent of 15mm spinners without even looking. You know what I mean? It is a very accurate HFT gun, FT gun, isn't it? Or HFT gun.
Yeah, well, I went up the club just to quickly try it at long range for the first time and only time I've done it, just to get some aim points ready for when I do start using it for comps. And I'm normally quite happy if I can hit 25mm at 50 yards with a 10 mag scope, trying to move around and all the rest of it. Yeah. And I have my friend Lloyd there with me, and I can actually get him to go, right, hit this pellet mark by its head on like a rabbit silhouette, and I can hit the pellet mark. It was like a laser.
Yeah, and what I like about it is a couple of things I like about it is, you've got the single shot magazine in there. I know, it's a nice little thing to have. The reach length on the butt is adjustable. the height's adjustable, and you've got that double profile cheek piece on there as well. It's a different profile which way you put it on, and it's a budget gun. Well, yeah, I know £700 isn't budget, but it's on the cheaper end of the scale, and it's got all those features.
Yeah.
For us as well, it's like the first stock we've seen for quite a while that's going to be bench press legal on the back as well.
Yep. So what I'm doing is I've actually, well, I will be tomorrow night, but it'll by the time this comes out, it'll already be done. Air Arms kindly said that I could keep, the X200, and what I'm doing is I'm actually donating it to my club for the newly settled junior section. So I think it'll be a really good, starting point for these young shooters to get something that's accurate enough to challenge them. And, they'll get many years of use out of that. So what else do you own then? You've got an X200. What else have you got?
My baby is my XTI-50.
You like it?
I love it. I like
Look
it.
at the smile on his face. Only air gunners and fishermen have that smile, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about it. But ever since I've had it, I've loved it.
Really? Do you find
So I started the year using my FTP, which I'd used for about 6 years beforehand.
Yeah.
And I started the season quite well, and then I just fancied the change, and I picked up the XTI, and I thought, well, why not? We'll have a play with this, and I shot it. And the first shoot I did with it was a double header GP weekend, BFTA GP series in Wales, and the first competition out, and I'd set it up literally a week prior. I went up on the Friday before I drove up on the Saturday morning to do the first day. And I thought, well, we'll just see how it goes. Got a rough setup. I've played with it a little bit. And I come off there, so it's a 50-shot course. And I come off the first day with a 45.
Happy days.
So at that point, I was like, yeah, I think this is probably a keeper. The second day, I had a little bit too much to drink the night before.
You'd settle in well at the bench press world as well.
I struggled to take the second day as seriously as the first day. And then someone Gordon Withers made a brilliant joke on the way up. I was at the top of the course. It was really windy. I just sat down to try and shoot a lane. And the guy I was shooting with said, "Oh, how'd you get on?" He went, "Not very well." And then Steve said, "I should take up knitting. It'd be better." And Gordon turned around and said, "I'd probably get the windage wrong on that." I was creased. I couldn't. Literally missed the last 8 targets. I couldn't hit. Just missed them all completely. At the end of me, I was rot. So that was an interesting shoot, but I managed to scrape it together this year. And took the Swifter Championship title again in field target. So the XCI is the keeper.
That's 2 Swifter champions we've got here, isn't it?
It is.
Interesting target.
Yeah, we just need somebody to get the HFT one now, and Crackshot will lock it up.
Yep, job done.
I think Matt, you should explain to James your idea for FT that you were coming up with yesterday about turret. This will make you laugh. This will show you exactly how much Matt knows about FT.
So I'm sat there, right? I'm in bed. Most of my best ideas happen when I'm in bed, right? And I usually ring Tom up and go, "Tom, I've got an idea," and I change the world, right? So I said to Tom, you know these FT shooters have that waggly wheel on the parallax adjustment? And he said, yes. And I said, they've got the numbers written on for the distances. And he went, yes. I said, why don't they do it the same for the elevation turret? Put the numbers on the elevation turret for the yardage. He said, everybody does that, Matt. What are you on about? I thought I'd absolutely fixed FT for everybody. I thought the whole FT community was going to come and thank me.
To tell me that.
This has already been done.
Tom said everybody does it. Yeah.
Well, not everyone. I don't.
Do you not? Do you not? But is it in here?
I
It's
say,
in here.
obviously, I just read the turret as it is.
So do you hold off then rather than adjust the scope?
No, so I'll still adjust the turret, but instead of
Right.
having like putting stickers on the turret for the actual yardages or whatever, if it's like zero, well, obviously 0-0, if it goes to 1 MOA and however many clicks, I'll literally write 1.4 or something, and that's how it's written down, and that's how it stays in my head.
Instead of doing the yardage numbers on your big parallax where you got the click values.
Yeah, because it would really annoy me if I changed my scope onto another, or I had to re-zero it or something, or changed the pellet, or did something, and then I've got to take all those little stickers off and re-put all those little stickers because something's changed by 3 clicks. It would drive me mad. So at least this way I can just rewrite out a card and I haven't got to change anything on the gun. I like to keep it simple, mate. I turn the wheel, it says 30 yards, so I dial 30 yards into the turret and I shoot at it, and that's it.
See, and that's my idea, and I helped you out there, didn't I? So you can thank me. You can thank me later. You see, Thomas.
We've said about it before, but we have actually used the parallax for range finding at some bench press events. It sounds daft, but we've been to 1 or 2 where they've accidentally put the targets at 25 yards, not meters. And we're trying to look down through the scope, and it's like, God, this is tripping my eyes out. I don't know what's going on here. And we clocked it, and nobody else, apart from me and Matt, readjusted their parallax the whole weekend.
I couldn't do it. What are people thinking?
I know.
I don't know. But Tom and I, well, actually, the first time it happened, Tom, we went up and we both looked at the targets and we went short, didn't we?
Yeah, that
We
was
went
sad. We
short.
knew it was short without measuring it or even parallaxing to
Yeah.
begin with.
Just being sat there, we just went short. And when you look through, and some of these really good, well, we use this probably the same scopes you do, but the scopes now, it's a matter of centimeters out that you can see the difference on parallax. It's not like 3 or 4 feet. You know what I mean? And some people must have think they'd had a beer before they started shooting if they're not changing that parallax. But I think everybody's cottoned on now. And the trick I do, and I'm gonna ruin it for everybody now and help everybody here, is when I put my gun away to go to a tournament, I always move the parallax, so I have to parallax in when I get to a venue. So I don't, do it by accident, even if it's just a little bit out and I don't spot it straight away. So I always blur the parallax and zero it in when I get to a new range. So that's something that I do because I'm kind of paranoid now after that happened to us, Tom.
Yeah.
I'd have to anyway, because I think every time you look at your scope, your eyes are slightly different anyway. I like to refreshen everything up first thing and then start again.
Mhm.
Although
So
I don't
for
shoot
anybody
first, but even I would still do it, even if I did. It's just something I do every time I wake a gun up. I always move everything, wake myself up, wake the gun up, wake all the kit up, and away you go.
I got a laugh when you say to someone, "Oh, you parallax for this range." What do you mean parallax?
So for people who don't know, parallax is basically the distance focus on a scope. It's like, if you're looking close or far away, your eyes have to change. If a target's a different distance away from when you were last using the scope, you've got to change the parallax adjustment. It doesn't focus the crosshairs, it's the distance view. And if you get your crosshairs out of sync with your parallax adjustment and one's blurred and one isn't, it can lose a little bit of accuracy. So it is important to try and get it right, isn't it, Tom?
It definitely is for a field target.
Yeah.
You physically can't do the range finding part if the reticle is not perfectly sharp and in line with the background, you're not range finding properly. That's you got to get the crosshair correct, make sure the ocular's set right, and then you can bring your parallax in to the crosshair and make sure everything is in focus. Because if it's not, if there's any type of doubt, you'll misrange stuff all the time.
With your parallax adjusting, James, do you have like a hot and cold set as well of aim points?
Yeah, so and they're all different, but I noticed on my March, it's about 2 to 2.5 yards it'll under range in the heat.
Well, I only have one setting because I'm always hot. You know what I mean?
Hot-headed.
But yeah, and I find, because obviously, I'm definitely a fair weather shooter. I mean, I'm not getting the gun out and it's cold and wet. I've got shotguns. Like if I want to go and play with things where I can stand upright instead of trying to sit down on a beanbag in the wet. That's not happening. Absolutely not.
You sound like you're on the journey to be a bench wrester shortly, as you
Yeah,
get
well,
softer in
there
your
is
old
something to be
age.
said for sitting in a shed drinking hot cocoa and wearing my slippers.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yeah. We've done events before where we've had a cup of tea while we're shooting.
Exactly. There we go.
and I have, because I'm like, the equivalent of an Arctic adventurer. I have a heated seat in my wheelchair as well, so I just sit there like this. You know what I mean? Toasty. So, so no matter what happens, I'm warm. You know what I mean? But I'm absolutely soft down at top. We have 2 tournaments a year, one in March, one in November, and they're a bit chillier than the rest. And I'm paranoid all year that I'm going to have enough hand warmers and heated wheelchair seats to get me through the 3 days.
And what do I do in? Thin hoodie, shorts.
Shorts, yeah.
Some people make you
But
sick, don't they?
they do, don't they?
See,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
is a reason why I do it with the shorts. It sounds daft, but with the shorts, like you're feeling the wind on your legs. It's another point of thing you can go off of. Like
No,
I don't.
You
I
become
do the same in the summer with the field target. If I can tell the difference between wearing shorts and I can obviously tell the difference because I can feel more. But yeah, I can feel the wind. But I always used to wear a hat, always used to wear a hoodie, and you never used to feel anything come in. Or I used to block all the numbnuts out around you and all the nonsense. So it was really nice. Like, in my quiet space. But I couldn't feel or hear the wind coming past anywhere. Once I started,
I don't put headphones in because I like to feel the wind and the pressure.
yeah,
I do notice that when I do the 50 meter unlimited because I've got to put earplugs in. They're just so loud. You do lose a bit of wind reading ability.
I feel it's like putting gloves on. You lose a bit of your sensation when you put headphones in. Yeah.
it's not the one.
I was just worried when Tom said he's in shorts and he can feel the wind. I just hope he doesn't come commando next season. You know what I mean?
There's my dear, I'll feel a bit more wind then.
Yeah, so just don't go commando, okay, mate? You know what I mean?
I'll show up in a mankini. That'll really put the wind in there.
It's when the wind's got
Oh,
lumps, we got
but if you
problems.
had like a mankini, right? Where would you put your sponsor logos? You'd have to have tattoos, wouldn't you?
Well, there's only a few areas it can go.
Exactly. Anyway, but so you spend a lot of time with Crackshot, you know what I mean, with Eric, and he's a top lad when I've been down. His dog's a bit suspect. That little thing,
Oh,
that dog, that's probably one of the little in the nicest way. It's a bit of a shit, isn't it? Really, that little dog. And last time I was down, I spent 20 minutes eating my front wheel, flat out
it,
eating my front wheel.
it does
But I
something
wanted
to
to
touch
I
you.
wanted to take I wanted to take it home because I felt like a bond with it because it was, irritated little thing like I am, you know what I mean? You have to work with that dog regular.
Yeah, well, she does come in every now and then. She is funny. Like I said, it's funny when someone comes in and they got any type of crutches or, she obviously doesn't like disabled people, which is not ideal.
well, I'm not keen on them either, you know what I mean? So it works out.
Yeah, so anyone that comes near, they might think there's some sort of like hatred towards them, but it's not that at all. She just likes moving objects. We had one
Yeah.
chap come with a tennis ball on the bottom of his, like 3 tennis balls on the bottom of his
No.
thing, and that was fun.
Oh God!
But yeah, she's had the sack trucks at work, and she nailed the tyres on them. She wouldn't leave them alone. She literally ate the sidewall out of a tyre where it gets solid ones.
Well, I forgot she was gnawing on my wheel, and I moved away and ran over her head, and she didn't have to. She didn't have to yell, and I was the one who was the bad guy. You know what I mean? It was but yeah. So can you, while we're talking about Crackshot, can you explain a bit about because you've got a few little gems in there, haven't you? It's not just a shop, isn't it?
It's not just a shop. We've got the range, which is a massive help. It's a massive help when you're trying to sell anything, or even just try and give a demonstration to someone about how things work. Just to have that here, or someone buys a gun and scope, to be able to make sure they walk out that shop knowing that their gun is set up and ready to go, and that they've got some understanding of how to do it makes a massive difference.
Yeah, because one thing I noticed was you've got some. One of the things, I know it sounds a bit odd, but you travel miles and miles to go to a gun shop sometimes, and it's nice to see you've got a simple thing like a toilet. You've got a customer toilet, which is
Yeah,
a big help.
that's it.
You know, you don't usually think about that, but it's a big help. And what was that shotgun thing you had in the?
So we got
In,
the Simway hunting sim or shooting simulator, and so there's different hunting scenarios on there. So you can shoot bear, boar, pheasants, ducks. There's all sorts of like different hunting things you can do on there. But there's also clay shooting, and we've got the like the Wild West one as well. Which is basically you're in there. You can shoot hats. You can shoot targets. You can do a bar shootout where you're shooting all of the glass bottles and whatnot. You walk around. There's one little one where you sort of simulate it as if you're walking through the town, and you're shooting silhouettes. It's brilliant. It is good. And there's also some actual like, sports on there. So biathlon shooting, and the screen actually moves as if you've got a heartbeat. So it makes up as if you've got a heartbeat going.
I remember having to go on the Olympic level ski there, and I was like, right, 3, 2, 1, go, and I didn't even move. It was so bad.
Gone, and I'm just everybody's just still standing like, oh, it's gone.
yeah, them guys know what they're doing, don't they?
Yeah. Here's one for you, Jim. What's probably the most exotic or rare rifle you've ever had in the shop that you know of?
We've had a couple of ones that's a bit quite tasty. I mean, I've only seen one of these so far, but last week we had a Daystate competitor pistol here. Or computer pistol. So I've only ever seen one of those. That was a cool thing to see. What else have we had here? Can't have been that exciting because I can't remember it. I'd say we've had a few gems. We've had a few things like Ripley XL9. We've only had one of those. There's a few of those floating around. We've only ever seen the one.
ISPs?
Never had an ISP in here.
People tend to keep them, don't they?
Yeah, they do move around a little bit, but they don't tend to move too far. They're just, again, nice hand-built things, aren't they? They are what they are.
So when I went in, you seemed to have a few shotguns and air guns and a bit of airsoft and stuff like that. You don't do rimfire stuff and that, do you?
Yeah, I got rimfires here. I mean, again, the shotguns and the rimfires generally are trade-ins or commission sales.
Right.
It's not something we sort of deal in all the time. Obviously, if someone wants it, we can order it in. It's a full RFD. Do you know what I mean? It's not limited to just air guns. We can do everything, but we just generally stick to the air guns and the airsoft. But I took in 3 shotguns today as part of exchange. All really nice, tidy guns, and all things that'll be they're future proof. Because obviously, steel proofing and everything like that. So it's all things that can be sold, be used for the future. I'm not going to be stuck with them. And the right sort of money for us. We don't sell top end guns, no shotguns. It's just not our market. But run of the mill stuff that people want to use for, I would take out doing a bit of shoot, just a bit of clay bashing or even just shooting a few pigeons or something. That's what we sell guns for.
Do you find that I'm completely ignorant about shotguns, right? So when it comes to use them, is usually if you have a mid-range air rifle and you buy one of the top ones, you do get like a Premier experience. Is it as big the Premier experience with shotguns, or?
You can tell the difference when you're using something cheap to something expensive. I personally shoot a Beretta over and under. Just by shooting it alone, I can tell the difference within the recoil. The recoil is a hell of a lot less. It's a much smoother gun to shoot. I can put some fairly big thumpy cartridges through it, and I'm a big lad anyway. Feel too much of a whack. I ain't got too much of a achy shoulder. I've shot some. I mean, obviously, fit makes a massive difference to that, and that fits. I've had it fitted. But even guns that fit really, really well, but they're a bit cheaper, you can still tell the difference with the thump. They just aren't as smooth, aren't as nice to shoot. and you can definitely tell the difference. I think a lot of the time when you start paying top money for shotguns, you're paying more for like the engraving and who's done the engraving and things like that. And, yeah. I mean, I've never understood why someone wants to pay £11,000 for a shotgun, but up to them.
When some people question why we spend so much on air guns, but it's because it's what we like.
Well, the thing is, there is obviously, all right, we can all of us can shoot an S400 and probably still compete at the same level as people using a Steyr or us using a Steyr. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't make much difference. You put an accurate gun in a top shot's hands, it's an accurate gun, end of. It doesn't really, as long as that gun will put pellet on pellet, we'll all put pellet on pellet with it. We don't have to spend thousands of pounds on guns, but we do because we enjoy it. That's why we do it.
No, it's like 20 quid. That's all it is, isn't it, Kirsty?
Because I love it. I love it because the only real reason is why do we spend that much on guns is because I like it. And that's the absolute truth, isn't it? If you try to break it down and justify it, you're going to have a struggle. I think there is a correlation with air guns, I think, where you do get better the more you pay, but it does, you're right, you get to a certain point where you put it in a decent person's hands, they're going to get good results out of it. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people confuse having an accurate gun with bragging rights. You know what I mean? And I think that, especially that with scopes, let's be honest, it's more about scopes. Especially with air guns and say 25, 50 meters, a lot of it's about the user experience and how you like it and the optical quality and all that sort of stuff and the rangefinder and that. But when you're bench resting, if you can see the dot and the scope doesn't creep, you're pretty much going to hit it. I did a video once where I went right down to 4 mag at 25 meters, and I shot a 7mm edge-to-edge group with one on 4 mag, and I couldn't even see the target. Yes, I was guessing, and I was just lining the outer lines on the scope up with the edges of the target and putting it in the middle. And I think that proves that. But I do think there's more of a difference with guns themselves because you're talking about barrels, air delivery, consistency of speed of pellet and things. But I do think you get to a point where it's all of the equipment starts topping out, and above that, it's kind of bragging rights, isn't it?
Yeah, everyone wants the nicest bit of kit, don't they? Everyone wants a nice new piece of something. I mean, a lot of people, truth be told, if they could trade their misses around, they probably would do that rather than their guns. But they stick to their guns because it costs less.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is, people need to just take a breath if they've got a really good HFT 500 with a mid-range scope on it and things. If you're moving up, make sure that you're competing to the level to move up. You don't have to race, do you?
Well,
You've got, like I know some plonker who wins with a HFT 500.
Well, there's also changes sometimes, not just change for trying to be better. I mean, I didn't change from the FTP to the XTI because I thought I was going to be better with it, but because it was about time for me to have a change. Things have felt stale, and I thought, I need a change. I want to change the scenery. I want a bit more of I want another challenge. I want to learn something else now for a while, and that's why I did it. Not for thinking I'm going to be better and I'm going to do better with this. Just fancy change.
Do you know what I do? Do you know how I have a change? I buy another 9015.
Really broadening collection there.
I am the most boring person in the world. I've got 3 now. You know what I mean? And I just sit and stroke them. You know what I mean? I'm happy.
Well, your change is doing new stocks for them. That's the new one.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Keeping a new rifle.
But yeah, well, we can have a new one every week, can't we, Tom, if we want? What colour are we having this week? It's like changing our pants. Just more frequent, isn't it?
I've got 2 purple ones at the moment behind the camera. Getting ready to be put on.
And I'm waiting for a new printer so I can print all this exotic plastic it's ordered, waiting to come. So,
There's one. I expect there's probably quite a lot of uses in the field target world for 3D printed part.
I've got loads on my gun.
Have you?
So I've got one for me little temperature thermometer. Still one. I've got adjustable pointer. What else have I got? Oh, the one for holding the stopwatch. Yeah, all sorts. Loads of it.
I bet you could use it for
like side wheels. With they've made holders for what's the thing? What's it called for angle? What do they call that?
Spirit level.
Inclinometer, isn't it? No.
Inclinometer or something like that.
Yeah. What of that? They'll make holders for that, but on the sides so they can check angle, all sorts.
We never have to worry about is up and down angle because we're just pretty much bang level to the target.
Just while we're here, I was wondering, could we put an appeal out to the audience to see if we get enough money to get James a new chair? Because clearly Eric is a bit cheap with that chair. You know what I mean? Tin of W. Come on, Eric. See the lad all right. Give the lad a chair. You know what I mean? You know, it's the least you can do.
Try to stay still.
I'm just thinking, I hope it's not his hip. You know what I mean? The lad's in bother. But yeah, so that's amazing. So I was thinking the other night, what is the what's the dumbest thing you've ever done on the range? Sorry, cleanest, dumbest thing you've ever done on the range.
Dumbest thing. Well, I mean, the dumbest thing I've done, but it wasn't on the range, but it was going to the range, was turn up without the gun.
Oh, classic.
That's a good one.
Really?
Yeah, when you get there, you go, I haven't put the gun in the car. And I've done it with quite various bits of kit over the years, whether it be pellets, the actual cushion, air bottle, but that's all things that's all useful. But when you turn up and you go, wasn't a gun there?
You couldn't be a bench rester because you've got to be obsessive. We sleep with our equipment 3 days before, you know what I mean? In case it moves. The worst thing I've ever done was I took my terror cap off twice in a competition. So I took my terror cap off and then I spun my cap again thinking it was I just went, oh God, I just went like that. So I thought, Matt, it's vertical. You're not going to be over here. You just calm yourself down. And I went back and like 2 or 3 shots I was back on. But for that moment, the heart went. But I've never forgot gun. But the best one my daughter ever did. My daughter used to shoot 10-meter pistol, and we used to go all around the country at different tour events. And we were going down to Bisley one day, and we used to all go home, throw the stuff in the car on a Friday night, and drive like 6 hours down to Bisley on a Friday night. And Emily got to Bisley, and she went, "I've got no shoes on." And she'd gone all the way to Bisley with no shoes for the whole weekend.
When she got there.
Yeah, and she only noticed when she got there, when she got out in the car park and she didn't have any shoes on. So as a father, you tend to have a few things to say about that, don't you?
I think the worst one I done was very recently, unfortunately. I'm sure Matt knows what we're on about here.
Oh, this is a classic, James.
Yeah,
honestly. He wins.
Last event of the year, so this was the 50 metre unlimited. Bear in mind, I'd won 3 out of 4 events so far. Last one of the year, big national one. First card, I had what would have been a 20-point lead after one card. What happened? Didn't have enough time to set up. Didn't check what card I was on, and cross-shot 9 times. Now, when you cross-shot, you lose 5 points for each shot. So I lost 45 points on one card.
And still didn't come last, did you?
I still didn't come last, but it was like just a whole season of brilliant unlimited shooting and then just clutch defeat from the jaws of victory right at the end of it.
Because I was saying to him in the car park, there's nothing stopping you now, is there? You sort of now just make sure, you point the gun the right way. You know what I mean? What could go wrong?
Yeah, he was bloody cursed it. I'll tell you what, though, I won't do it again.
We all have one, don't we?
I know we got. I think it's 5 or 6 events next year, and I'm trying to go for a clean sweep of the lot. That's the plan.
It's sometimes I think though, seriously though, we all prepare for tournaments for seals bursting, the right ammo. We try and narrow down everything so nothing can go wrong. And sometimes the worst enemy can be ourselves, can't it? You know what I mean? Absolutely. So anyway, on that cheery note, Tom. So Christmas, do you find you get which is the busiest? People coming in spending the Christmas money afterwards, or do you get a lot of people coming in and buying gifts for people that they'll never want? For you, do you find that, or
We've had a few people come down and they'll start panicking and they'll just buy random things. In actual fact, it's not too bad. This chair is so annoying. They'll buy vouchers, if anything.
right? That's a good idea, isn't it?
So they can come down and buy what they want, which is quite cool. Makes a lot more sense. Obviously, if they don't cash the voucher, then quid's in. I'm joking, but it's always good to see people come in with their vouchers and the big smiles, and they walk in and get to go and pick a gun off a wall, and that's always quite smart. But I mean, we'll have a bit of a run now, probably of vouchers in the next week until they can't post anymore. People buy range vouchers because they've run out of time. They don't know what else to do. So panic buy for a little while. After Christmas, hopefully we'll get a lot of people to start spending their Christmas pennies. That'd be nice.
The reason I ask is when I used to play a lot of pool and go around to tournaments, and the week after Christmas, you used to get all these people coming into the club with really bad jumpers and cues that you would never buy. You know what I mean? They were clearly all gifts from caring families. They used to come in with a really bad jumper and a bad cue, and we used to think, "Yeah, that's Christmas." But no, I think you're right though. Gift cards completely wipes that sort of risk out, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can do what you like. I mean, you can, especially when you don't know what someone wants. They know they're itching for a gun, but if they've got 500 quid to put towards a gun or something on a voucher,
Yeah.
that's so much better than someone spending 500 quid on something they may not want. But we still always get asked if someone thinks, "Oh, I think this is the right gun," and we'll still always get asked if they can they bring it back if it's not right, which obviously you're gonna want people to do that. You don't want to discourage anyone buying anything, but to get them into the voucher is so much easier.
Like, talking about vouchers, it's a good opportunity to say thank you to Eric and you guys, because you gave us a £100 voucher for the AirAbility boot camp for the winner of that. So Richard got that. So these vouchers come in handy all the time then.
Yeah, especially when you're winning them.
Yeah. So what's your next tournament, and what are your plans then?
So we've got a Christmas shoot on Sunday.
Right.
As the competition secretary for Swafter, I've unfortunately got to go out the trophies. So hopefully it'll probably be raining. Just so I've got to stand there in the rain and hand trophies out to everyone that's won. And then it's what we do a Christmas shoot. So it's just a fun shoot. Bring a prize, you take a prize. It won't be done on sort of who comes first or anything. There is it's a winter league as well, so we will record the scores for the winter league, but mostly it's just a bit of fun. So it's not like it's a serious shoot the weekend. Like I said, I'm shooting the X200. I don't normally shoot just HFT. Normally FT is my go-to. But at the moment, I just fancy doing something a bit different. I get into the September and I've shot nearly every weekend field target, and you sort of you're sick of it. You've had enough. I don't even want to look at the gun for a while. I'm sick of you. Just go and stay in your bag somewhere else for a while. So it's nice to just do something a little bit different.
I think we're different in that, Tom. Our events are more spread out, and we're absolutely gagging for an event when it comes.
Yeah. I can't have a weekend off at all from training. I've got to keep ticking away every single week. Otherwise, you start, like I say, you lose a point or two a card from like wind patterns going out your head a bit. Over the last 4 or 5 months, I've had no time off or no training days that I allocated for training. Got to stay committed, got to put the hours in. The only way to get the success.
But we only have about 6-7 tournaments a year,
Yeah, I was
depending
going
on
to
which
ask
ones we
what's your
go to.
frequency on the. I mean, obviously, I don't know. I've never done the bunch rest.
So basically, in the warmer months, it's about one a month. And I like that spread out because it gives you time to train. It gives you time to actually want to go to another tournament. By the time it comes around, like I say, you're absolutely gagging for another tournament. For me, I think if it was every week, I'd find it hard with work and that to do. You know what I mean? Because our tournaments are over 3 days as well.
Yeah.
So basically, if I have 7 tournaments a year because I'm traveling from the north, it's a Friday and a Monday off for me. It's a big investment.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I'll have a few double headers in there if we do anything away. So there's probably about 4 or 5 weekends where we are doing double headers. So that's at least the Saturday and the Sunday shooting. Well, it is the Saturday Sunday shooting. Some of them is especially for me going up to like Wakefield. That's the furthest I'll tend to go.
Sorry. Up. You call Wakefield up. You call Wakefield up, do you?
It's a
God,
5-hour drive.
you'd need a visa to come up to the Northern Monkey, wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
I'd also need a lot of patience behind my wheel.
Well, that's how far I drive every time.
Crazy.
You know, it's 5 or 6. It's basically 6 hours to nearly every tournament I drive to, and the wife and I we get up at 3:30 on the morning tournament day, on the Friday to set off to get to. By the time we've loaded the car up and get to the event for about 10 o'clock when you can start practicing. It's
It is an
it
investment,
takes.
though, isn't it?
And then you get these blinking have-a-go heroes turn up 20 minutes round the corner like Tom. You know what I mean? Just had his
20 minutes.
cornflakes. Just had his cornflakes, you know what I mean? But anyway, no, it's good. It's good. But yeah, and just for further reference, Wakefield is not the north.
It's definitely north to me.
Yeah, we got 6 or 7 tournaments, so it's usually 5 or 6 proper national ranking events, and then we got a couple independent shoots usually throughout the year. You'll see the AirAbility boot camp as well. It's another weekend.
Oh God, that's another one.
Yeah. Well, as I found out, I started this year doing obviously the Swifter League as well. That's another weekend shoot for me. So
Yeah, I think sometimes you add different leagues together, you can. That's how I end up shooting nearly every weekend. I've got the BFCA weekends, then you've got the Swifter shoots. So Swifter shoot every month. There's a BFDA shoot every month. There's normally, out of the 4 weekends a month, there's normally 3 of them I'm shooting.
Yeah. I think I worked out this year, it was like a third of my weekends have been a competition of some sort, has been on a weekend. And then the rest of the time is, this year it's been like more competition and practice, not training as such. It's just been a constant, like when you're practicing, competition mode, everything's done like you would at a comp. No like brain or tuning or I need to improve my trigger technique or whatever, anything like that. It's just been going through the routines of a comp.
Yeah, it's the same as
I have nothing like that. I have 5 to 7 competitions a year, and that's it. There's nothing in the northeast when it comes to outdoor bench rest of a national standard. Maybe we can sort that out.
Have you done any like international FT shoots? Bloody sheriff! Did you hear that?
James, he said, "Have you done any international shoots?"
Oh, have I done any international shoots? I have shot 2 World Championships in my time and a European Championships. That's it.
Did you do all right?
The European Championships I did. I was 15th. That was in 2024, and that was good. That was in Wales. I mean, both of them. I've shot 2 World Championships in Wales, 1 in England, and the other European Championships in Wales. I'm not going abroad. I ain't got passports, so
I'm surprised you got into Wales.
I stay on this island.
So We've got that H&M field target thing coming up, haven't they?
There is
Next year
I think
as
there is.
well.
It's over in the Fenland somewhere, but I'm not going to that.
It's too far, is it? Is it
I
too
don't
far
shoot.
north for you?
I mean,
Too far north.
I'm also not a fan of shooting for money.
All right.
I
think
agree with that. I
I
agree
think
with that.
money becomes a problem. That's where, personally, I think that's where money, you're more likely to get more cheating possibly going on. And you can guarantee anyone thinks they've hit a field. So what we end up getting, especially in like when things are starting to get tense at World Championships and stuff like that, is when someone's clipped the target, they've managed to put a little tiny nick on the outside rim, on the front faceplate, and on the rear plate, there's also put a mark because the pellet split. And they'll sit there and they'll call them. The target is working faultlessly, but they're calling the targets, hoping they're going to get the point because they don't want to drop points, and it's only going to happen with money. And I just don't think it's necessary. I don't mind people putting prizes up, and if you want to sell the prize after to get some money, that's up to you. But I think shooting for just money is not my thing.
It's just not British, is it? It's going back to the Olympics, isn't it? And being an amateur sportsman and things like that many years ago. I see your point, but there's probably room for both types. But for me,
Yeah, of course it is.
For me, it's just basically it's just about beating Tom, really. You know what I mean?
Good luck next year.
Well, no, I mean, in Swifter, we don't shoot for anything in particular other than a little tin badge. And I mean, honestly, the boys in there, they go mad for a tin badge. You think,
Well, I'm the
that
same.
tin badge costs you 50 plus Swifter, 50p to have made, and you go absolutely bonkers to win this little tin badge. And they come to Swifter, it's like armour, the amount they've won. They're plagued in these badges, and you think, do you know what? If anyone tried to shoot you, they have got a very high chance of sort of making that will make you survive.
Matt must have that many now. He's got his bloody wind chime in the garden, I expect.
Well. I was saying to Tom. So every year I have this moment where I put my new medals, into my cabinet and things. Do you know what I mean, right? And now in my cabinet, I've only got room to display my gold medals. I've had to put all the other medals just in a big jam jar in the cabinet, because I've got too many now. But for me, we joke that Benchers UK have recently upgraded their medals to like customized ones.
Yeah.
They're really, really nice, right? Argos has gone out of business now because I think that's where they used to get the old ones from. But them ones for like kids, what do you call it, games days. You know what I mean? But it doesn't matter what the thing looks like to me. I'm as proud as punch, and even if it's cost me 500 quid to win 25 pence worth of tin, I'm happy. I really am.
Yeah, this is what we've got down here, and I think that's partly why I'm a bit like, we don't need money to enjoy our sport, and the fact that we are happy to spend all this money on kit and sit in the pissing rain, and as if there's anything else you could do in the dry, and we all soldier on as if it's our lives depend on it for a 35p badge, and I think that's brilliant. That's where it's at, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Do you not think it's wonderful, though, that we do it for the joy of it? I do. It's just the absolute joy of it.
But we all think the same thing, all right, in the rain, going, anyone that saw us now would honestly question what we're doing. What are we doing? Sat in the middle of this field in the rain.
Tom and I we fair weather shooters, as you know. Benchers was undercover, but we were in Cornwall and it was bouncing and the wind was horrible and it was the wettest thing. It was just the worst event we'd ever been to. It was the best event for fun, but the worst event for weather. You know what I mean? And it really drove home to me that why I am a soft benchers shooter. Because if I'd have been outside for a full day like that, I'd be dead. I'd have drowned.
I tell you what
I
was
would have
miserable
drowned.
that weekend is finding out your bloody waterproof shoes aren't waterproof anymore. They'd given up. They must have given up like in the weeks before it. So the first step out, I was like, oh, I must have got a puddle inside. Next step, I was like, that ain't the puddle just gone over the top. They have given up. And of course, I only had 2 pairs of shoes with me, and I wasn't using my nice shoes out in that. That was
And I
that
got
was
me
bad.
back bag wet, which was full of sand, and it sat like concrete. So it was just, we were just at the end of it. We
Well,
were just
I
like,
was I was prepared. I brought my umbrella to clamp on the table.
but I do always say that sorry, I'm just putting one of my eye drops in. When people shooting bench rest and that, um, people do get to an age where humping around in the mud and the rain and the cold can get a little bit too much of them. Then they have a quick go with the sticks, don't they? And the sticks keep somebody's career going along a little bit more. You know what I mean? But I think the one good thing about bench rest is we get people in it, and it keeps them shooting at a competitive level. And you can go for years more once you come across to the dark side.
Well,
You know what I mean?
the one thing that with the field target is it is a young man's sport in a way. Really, the younger your eyes, the better the range finding, the more able you are, the better it is. I find as a fat man, it's difficult. There's different positions I struggle to get into now. Faster than I was. Field target used to be a lot easier, but and it will as time goes on, and we lose a bit of weight again, hopefully.
Some of them guys fold up like a pretzel, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, there's
When
people
you
that
see them.
manage to wrap their arm around their knee and clamp the gun between the shoulder and their knee, and I mean, that's an amazing one. Couldn't think how I could do that because my gut would be well in the way.
Another balance point.
It's just insane how some of the people shoot. It's good. It is brilliant. It's good to watch, and I do like it. I mean, I did say to a buddy of mine, field target or any of the shooting sports would be they're boring as hell to watch. How people film them and display them now. What they need is a live commentary like golf, because golf would be just as crap to watch if you didn't have the commentary. It's the commentary that makes golf interesting, because you understand why everyone's clapping him for making that shot, because you can't understand it on a screen. But you can once someone's explained it to you, you can understand. And it would make field target or bench rest would be interesting to watch had you had someone doing a live commentary as it's happening.
And I think if you could have like a split screen, especially bench rest with like the target and then the wind flags. You know what I mean? You could see the correlation of when people are choosing to shoot and why they're choosing to shoot. You could explain all that in a commentary, and I think that would be a
when people get that decision wrong, having someone explain, going, "Oh, we shouldn't have pulled the trigger then." Things like that would make it. It's got to be worth trying to do it one day. Try to set up some camera, someone filming, some people shooting, and trying to do a broadcast of it somewhere. And I think
I'd only be allowed to commentate once because it'll be a once only gig for me. You know what I mean? I hope I get the opportunity to commentate on Tom. Do you know what I mean? One day.
I often, when we're saying about like the spectating of it, I think, to be honest, I think bench as a sport to spectate is probably one of the worst ones to spectate. I mean, you cannot tell at all what's going on downrange. I mean, with the FT, at least you've got the plate going over to see. Oh, that one went down. With us, it's just a bit of paper 25 metres away. Has he got a hole there or there? You can't tell.
It's the same as archery though in the Olympics, and they managed to still make it captivating.
Yeah,
but they've got the budget to have.
What I also like is
you would end up having to rely purely on volunteers and people who are willing to actually do it. But I think it's got to be worth trying to do one day, just to see what it would actually come out like.
Maybe we can do that like Crackshot video.
Yeah. But you've got them desperate people, haven't you? There's usually one spot and scope at the side of the range with a queue of people trying to see what's going on the target.
Yeah, we've had this at events, haven't we? People with the spot and scope, and they're stressing themselves sensors. Like, oh, that person's only dropped 2 or 3 on that card. Oh, that one's dropped 4. Doesn't matter. Just get on with it and shoot your own stuff.
That's what I mean. Imagine having a GoPro set up on each and every one that's shooting. You could, you could. So you can just flick in between the different, as you're doing it, you can go, right, well, we're going to put this person on screen now.
Well,
We'll take that. And actually watch them live shooting it. People would lose their minds.
I think we need to look at the technology in the future. But anyway, guys, we've come to the hour. James, it's been a pleasure, and I think the hour always goes way quicker than you ever think it's going to be.
Apart from the stress weekend.
Well, you've got to have a bit of fun, haven't you? If it goes to plan, it's not worth happening. So, we'd like to thank you for being with us. You know what I mean? And
will this be cast as the Christmas podcast? I might put probably the last one.
Yeah, I might put a bit of tinsel on the YouTube card. You know what I mean? I think I might use James's Crackshot photo from today on the card, where he's got tinsel in his hair or something. You know what I mean? But anyway, guys, thank you very much, and we'll see everybody else in the new year.
Bye.